what is going on, boys and girls? My name is SubZeroExtabyte as always, and today we are back with a video that is a little bit different than usually, because we are actually not in Roblox. No, today we are roaming around in the world of playBlockor.IO. It is a pretty cool game, and right now I am trying to find a good character to play, because we cannot just go on and play as some kind of block. No, I want to make sure that we are looking fly for a white guy, and I do not know for sure, but oh wait a second, what was that? Let's go back a second there, and would you just look at this? I knew this game was going to be a lot of fun. By the way, just a quick shout out to Kwebbelkop. I am sure that I just butchered your name, bro, but this goes out to you. And alright, I do not know why we are still standing around while we could just have started with playing the Blockor.io. So alright, it is pretty much the same as Acquire.io. I mean, all of the principles that apply are pretty much the same. When you eat more blocks, you grow bigger, and with bigger I truly mean bigger, like way bigger. And basically what happens when you grow bigger, that way you can eat more of your opponents and grow even bigger. And without skin, since it is a picture of me with a green background, and now hence the green, we could pretty much just turn into the Hulk. And I am pretty sure that we are able to do that today, just because that is how we roll. Every time that I play a new game, I want to be able to become insanely good at it, otherwise I just do not want to continue to play it. So I will always give new games their time of day. But sometimes when I have been playing a game for long enough and I still do not get around to being even a little bit decent, well then we come to the point that I'm going to stop, just because I do not screw around with those games. I am sure that I could be a beast in any game that there is, but then again, not all games are made for a guy like me. So I am pretty lucky that we actually do have this thing that is called Roblox, because it will always be there for me when I need some downtime, because I am getting my butt kicked by a game. And let me tell you, this has to stop, because otherwise I might actually rage quit already. I mean, come on, at least give me a shot. I mean, if anyone has ever tried playing Dark Souls, well then you know what I am talking about. But most games I find myself being a pretty decent player after I put several hours into the game to just try and understand what I am supposed to do, because you cannot really see if you are good enough in a game when you do not even get the base principles of a game. So before I am going to be the judge of myself and say that I just plain suck at the game, well, I will first need to play for some time just to get into the game, and that can be pretty tricky if you ask me, because sometimes I get so hooked on a game that I do not even care enough whether I am too bad for a game or not. I mean, look at me when I am playing Minecraft. Well, once I get in contact with one Enderman, well, that will just be my exit. But I still enjoy playing it because I am good in other stuff in Minecraft. Maybe survival is not my strong point, but building houses and condos and that sort of stuff, that is where I notice that I really thrive in that game. So what I am basically trying to say with all of this is the fact that you do not always need to be good at the base aspect of a game. Maybe you find out that you are good at something else, and that will still make your experience with a game tolerable. But I am noticing that we are not really paying any attention to what we are doing on our screen right here. I know that it might look a little dull and without any real contrast when it comes to level design and all of that cool stuff, but then again, I am also pretty sure that this actually can become a really funny game, especially when you keep on growing bigger and bigger, because sometimes that is just all that you need, that little boost that will make you get bigger and better and badder looking. And by badder looking I mean more bad but looking. So if you want to be a tough guy, well, you can just take my skin and you can go around eating blocks all day and trying to fight against the other people that are playing at the same time as you. And alright, I take all of that back since I died, but now we just start over, and I promise you, this time is going to be the time where I win. And that is also pretty cool of this game. You do not really have to pay too much attention. I know that it might just suck whenever you are playing and you get distracted and you have to start all over again, but that is when you are only looking at it from the dark side of the light, and that is the really pessimistic side, because the way that I look at things when it comes to playing video games, the fact that I can easily start over again is pretty cool. It is pretty awesome just to know how awesome it is when you can start playing all over again, and that way you can get yourselves a lot bigger and you can probably rule the land where this server location is built on. But it does not really matter. The only thing that is really annoying is the fact that I never, and I actually have never done something that actually would get me really big. So let's see how far that we can come today before we go out again and have to leave all of our dignity behind. I mean, I think that we can actually become pretty big just because these guys are all huge dudes, and sometimes you have those people that are really big but have no idea what to do. So basically my main goal is just to finish today in the top 10, and that would actually be pretty good. And if I actually end up making it into the top 10, and then I will just start checking out how much further I am going, but that will have to go really on schedule. I mean, I think that a top 10 finish is like really doable right now because I am pretty good at this game, but when I actually get into the top 10, that would be the time where I actually start moving my goals. So when I get 10, then that means that I actually want to get to 9 and then 8 and so on and so on. So I'm going to spare you a boring story about that, but I think that some people might still remember the time that I will never even get into the top 10, and right now we are already going for more and more, because that is just amazing. So we cannot start slacking behind, but we are actually in hot pursuit right now trying to follow this pink block, and we will make him kneel before us and we will absorb all of his blocks for our own personal use. How about that for a change of pace, right? Alright, come here you little blocky piece of work, get back here. Alright, I guess that he does not want to bite, so we will go for the tinier one right here. And we got that one. But we are not just going to stop here. That is not how we roll now, is it, people? We just want to expand right here, and oh no. Wow, I knew that we were going on a collision course with that stupid little block. But alright, like I said before, this is just a new chance for me to start over and actually gain some more blocks to become even bigger than last time. Because even though it is really cool to actually become really big and such and end up really high on top of the scoreboard, but when you are just starting out, it is better to just focus on hitting those personal records. I mean, you cannot just go from one block all the way to the top of the leaderboard. So if you have watched this video and you are going to try this for yourself, well, just make sure that you are trying to go to hit those personal records rather than trying to just end up on that number on leaderboard spot right away, because the chances of that happening are rather small. So alright, we are picking up steam again, and it looks like we might be headed into some calmer seas. But you know what they say, smooth seas do not make good sailors. So we will have to find some adventure sometime soon, right? I am sure that there has to be someone that is lurking around here, and I think that my prayers may have been answered, but this guy is a little too big for me. But alright, would you look at that, the guy actually defected. Well, now I am just going to be taking your blocks and grow stronger myself, just like I deserve. So again, smooth seas do not make good sailors. If you want to get pretty good at this, then do not be that guy who is just going along the borders trying to find all of those little blocks to eventually become a big block. That is not the way to go. You will have to know what it is like to actually be in combat. So with that said, I just want to make sure that you guys understand that real quick. So try and confront the guys that are your size, and may the best duelist win. That is just how it goes in a game like this one. You will have to be fearless at literally all times. At all times and at all costs, because otherwise you will never get really big, and that is what the game is about. So if you do not actually end up getting really big, then you might as well go and try a new strategy, because that one is not working out for you then. And I know that it is really hard to tell yourself that you are doing it all wrong, but that is just all part of life, people. You cannot do anything without trying your best, especially when you are new to something. So do not go around and start slacking from the start, but make sure that you actually have a plan that is set in stone, but not that much set in stone that you cannot ever change it a little bit for the better, because that is a pretty big part of all of this. The fact that you will need to be able to adapt to certain situations, and I have noticed that this fact can be pretty hard for most people just because they are used to only use one technique until it does not work again. So just make sure that you have plenty of options to fall back on when one plan fails. And of course, just try and have fun. So you can just take that from me, because I am pretty sure that we are about to hit an all-time personal record right here, man. Just take a quick look at how huge I am right now. That is insane, right? So just do whatever I just told you and make sure that you are ready to take on the big guys, because when those big guys see a smaller guy, in this case you, running around here, well, they are going to look for this easy gains and they will start hunting you. So just take all of that into consideration, because you actually will have to fight the bigger dudes in this game, because they will always be there, Because when you are not the biggest in the map, well, that just means that someone else in the map is bigger than you, and that means that you will have to fight to survive and gain more blocks and actually get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, just like I am getting right now. I actually am wondering when I am going to overtake that first place, because we are actually getting really huge right now and we are about to blow. I am kidding, you do not actually blow up when you get really big, you just grow. Wow man, just look at me going right here. This is actually really awesome now that we actually have that second place on the leaderboard, and I am sure that we are just on the verge of actually getting bigger than that number one dude. Pixate, what in the world does that even mean? I am not sure, and of course it does not matter, but I am just wondering what it means. If anyone in the comments has any idea what that guy, his name might mean, well then please do not hesitate to inform me, because I really do not like it when I do not know what I am saying. So maybe that would be the number one reason not actually say something when I have no idea what it actually means. But like I always say, where is the fun in that? You all know that I get really hyped from the unknown, just because that means when I actually face that unknown thing, it just means that I am about to uncover what the unknown is, which means that it is not something that is unknown to me anymore. Can you guys follow that a little bit? I bet you can. But it just means that I am ready to face whatever it is just to find out what it is. Because let's be honest, I have always been the kind of curious type, and if I can figure something out then I surely will try to find something out. And of course that just gives me an opportunity to learn, and you guys know that I am all about learning new stuff. It actually looks like I am searching the boundaries of this game right now. I am not sure how much bigger I can get, but you can bet that I am more than willing to find out what the boundaries of this game will hold for me, because I still have not surpassed that number one guy, and I have no idea how much bigger than me he is. Because man, I just think, or at least I like to think, that he is not even that much bigger than me. I believe that he is just gaining as much blocks in the same time as me. So when his block gaining slows down, he will eventually start losing the ranks, and I will go and become the number one in the server. And that is the reason why I am here. So I really do not want to scroll all of this up right now, because I am not down to start all over again now that I have come this far already. But man, he is still in first, and we're just here going at a decent pace when it comes to collecting more blocks. But I mean, just look how slow we are going relative to the smaller cubes, of course. So let's just start going after these smaller cubes to gain some more blocks and eventually surpass the guy that is number one. And would you look at that? There is Kwebbelkop. He is not doing that bad himself. I mean, he is not doing as well as me, of course, but those things can definitely happen. I mean, we cannot all be as good at everything that we do as I am. So I just want to tell you guys that I am pretty sure that we are going to be number one pretty soon. It is so darn close, I can taste it. But the thing about being as big as I am right now, it is just how vulnerable I am right now. I am so big that whenever someone comes and goes into the attack, I would probably just be scared of the fact that I am maybe going to die, or whatever you would call it right here. But I just do not want to start all over, because that would probably just mean that I will start screaming so loud that you could literally hear me scream when you are just sitting behind your computer. And no, I will not be screaming into the microphone. And that is just not who I am. What I am though is a person that when he gets defeated in a game that he's been playing for ages, I'll be screaming really loud and you can just hear it all over the world. That is basically what is about to happen when I die and have to start all over again. So if I were you, I would not be looking forward to that, because I can actually scream pretty loud, meaning that you do not want to fool around with me when it comes to the actual losing part of any game. Even though I really tell you guys to try and be a good sport, well, I am not a good loser. I am a great winner, but I am not a great loser just because I hate losing. That is all. I just do not like it, and I would appreciate it if the guy that is trying to become first, which is actually Kwebbelkop right now. Wait a second, I have actually not been paying attention to that leaderboard. We are in first. Well, that just settles it. I am the best gamer in literally every game. There is no shying around it. This is just something that should be said just because we can. Oh man, I cannot believe that I am actually in first. But I really need to stay in first, otherwise I would just have been in first for like a minute while that other dude was in first for like hours. Okay, maybe not literal hours, but you get the point. I just want to stay in first until the end of the video, just so that you guys can actually see how good I am and that you guys can see that I'm not joking around. around when it comes to games because I am a really competitive guy, meaning that I just want to make sure that I win all the time, at all costs except for cheating of course, because that is not cool at all. Just saying. But right now it actually looks like I am going for the W right here, people. I am gaining size with every second that I am roaming around here, and I just want to say that I could not have done any of this without you people. And of course I need to give another shout out to my man Kwebbelkop for playing alongside me in the server, and I bet that it is great for him to have witnessed what I just have done. I am basically the Olympic gold champion when it comes to this game. So again, the game is called playBlockor.io for any of you that might be interested in playing right now. I bet that you guys are, but this is the point where I log off.